I did not know the
Greetings,
witch
this
that
is
works
Freener
at Woolworths
Riametra, half
was
elven
listening.
YouTuber.
Well, Faustian bargain or not,
And I'm coming
I am the president now, and I
to
have
you
an
with another reaction
obligation
of Critical
to
Role.
lead this country.
Right now, it's
so to
part
answer your
2 of
question, no, I am not
reaction to
Goofin.
episode
Security, take
27,
him out.
Campaign 3. We've all seen this one before. I've never, this last series I was never that into. About 1 minute more, almost a minute. Oh. Almost 2 minutes left, Like, if you haven't seen part 1, please go to, especially, you might be lost if you haven't seen the original yet. Which I would recommend when it comes out, you do. Real quick, as always, I must tell you that I do not own nor associated with Critical Role, its YouTube or Twitch channels, or any other online presence it may have. I'm just a fan, sharing with other fans. Oh, and stay tuned to, I know, because at the end, when I'm done reacting to them, I'll quickly tell you about a homebrew item I came up with. My own vestige of divergence, explaining what it does, what it looks like, and some of the reasons behind why it is as it is. You can find these descriptions not on DVD quite yet. I might post it this weekend. But I'll have this on there's like one for on 2 videos on the Vestige Versions. One is on the D&D Beyond channel. The other is on YouTube channel called Fraud on the Telly. And with that, let's get back into tonight's episode of Critical Role.
And welcome back. So,
I'm sorry if I talked
the
fast.
night
I was
now
wrong.
completed, the morning is yours. The sun rises across the Hellcatch. And your plans for the day of Bassaris are before you. What would you like to do?
I guess we should just head straight over, right?
We're supposed to check in, so
Yeah,
this will go great. Let's go.
Can't chance around forever.
Yep.
Can't put that there. I use this for work. I'll forget it if I get play
Make
there.
our way. Thank you.
Yeah.
To the seat.
That yeah.
Disdain.
That
Seat.
little
All right.
precision has been reborn from the
Early in the
ashes.
morning, we'll say you arrive probably 2 hours off of dawn. As you approach the familiar outer walls of the Seat of Disdain, following the paths where you had previously cased the location itself, there is the front gate and the back gate. Which do you approach? And which of you are doing so?
Oh, right.
Yeah, we've gone over this. We should ask about it.
All right.
We're hanging back.
I think the back gate is funnier.
Get you in town?
Funnier?
Yeah, back gate.
Okay.
You mean back? Never mind.
Well, that too.
Back door.
That's funny too, but
I call it a back gate.
No?
So you head to
I've
the...
been with some weird people, apparently.
So we're just
weird
gonna be
at
stuck
all.
outside of the...
Open your back gate, baby.
Should we not go in at all?
But he still does have dicks. He's
We're not
addicted.
gonna go in.
Matter of fact,
We're gonna stay outside?
only one. He doesn't have one.
Or if you want to come
the only modifier
in,
that isn't
you
a
can
plus
turn
something
into, like a little mouse.
is his
and
charisma,
be my
which
pocket.
just has a 0, so he has no negatives.
What do we think? Do we need extra backup?
I mean,
If
I
things
think
go
more
south,
hands
I
in
think
there.
we might need the more backup.
Let me, okay, start planning and I'm gonna turn into something.
Druid panic. I recognize it.
How are we gonna bust that door open if we need to get in a hurry?
I mean,
How are we going to bust
We have I have an item on order. We can go over and pick it up.
Oh, yes.
It's a
Before we
breacher. It's a breacher
So
device.
we just
go pick
breach
that up
on
while we're
in.
doing
If something goes south, just fully create some
pretty
sort
south.
of event.
It would have to be a very south.
Dynamite.
All right.
Have to be very south.
Got a big ball.
I know.
Yeah, let's stop by there before we head over then. And
Pick up the boom boom.
All right.
Okay, so before heading to the exterior here, you instead
Walk and
go
talk.
to Finders Takers to meet up with Esmer.
Yes, that's who was building our bomb, yes?
Indeed.
Yes.
You approach, and it is currently not open. Or at least it hasn't yet opened. It's still an early enough morning for Esmer.
Well, you all go ahead and I'll wait here. I'll wait here until we get it, and then I'll.
Were you going to go in?
Well, yeah, but this is where the object is.
No, I mean, were you going to go in with?
No.
Oh, right. All right.
Oh, I feel like I'm gonna get something from there though. Something else.
Just like shopping.
Yeah.
I think probably you bought everything yesterday.
Well, I really wanted a tiny pepper box for little mister, because I feel like my monkey needed a pepper box.
a gun.
To put his flame seeds in,
I've
You
read
know,
that
a
issue
little-
of Hellboy.
like a little pepper box
I
for him.
can order one for you because she'll probably have to custom make a smaller
tell
one
her-
for the little hand.
Yeah, little hands, flaming shit goes inside, and then so something that will be okay with heat.
Sure.
Okay. Yes. My monkey just needs a pepper box. Okay, I'm gonna turn. I'm just gonna do my regular.
We are
I'm
not
just gonna be
giving
real
that
wet.
monkey a
Just
gun.
get in your get in your pocket.
Rollo is spinning constantly. Like it's generating electricity for all of Whitestone. Just spinning.
Before we leave, you hear in your head, are you sure you're all right being by yourself? Do you need company?
If I'm. Oh, you hear in your head back. If I'm not, I can reach out to you.
All right.
All right. Wait, you're gonna be
Just wait.
alone?
Oh, I'm just gonna wait until the store opens. Then I'm gonna follow up and come over.
Okay.
What if you're abducted,
Yeah, I was. Yeah.
kidnapped, robots?
That's
A-
true. I'm gonna stay with you.
Robot napped.
I'm gonna stay with you, and I'll meet up.
There is zero reason for us not to wait till the store opens, get what we want, and go out to that place all together so we are all ready to deal with whatever comes.
Well, that sounds very complicated.
We don't know when the store's gonna open. She might not open today at all.
Is it a
We can't show
tent
up
or
in
is it
2
like a
Because
full
they're
store?
gonna come to us.
It's a building.
Is there a
Can I knock on the
sign
door?
on the door that says what
Do
time
they
they
know
open?
where in the city we are?
You go and check, and it just
We're gonna
says
go find
closed. You glance around, and there is another sign that's scrawled on the kind of the right-hand side. It's a little off kilter, but it says, "Opens when I feel like it."
That's the spirit.
That's a good way to get the thing that we want.
No response.
Is there an apartment above the? No, it's a tent. Never mind.
No, the roof is blackened in places from fires and/or explosions, and
Fair.
you know.
Ashton mentioned that they wanted a breakfast beer anyway, so we can go get some quick
Oh,
breakfast.
thank God my head is killing me. Yes, that would be great.
Come back, and then go.
For the ease of the narrative, you go ahead and acquire a breakfast beer, catch up a bit,
Wasting
I have
time.
now.
and
Okay.
and
Kill some time.
as you arrive, say about an hour and a half later, the shop does appear to be open now. The sign is adjusted.
All right, let's get it and go.
Okay, you walk inside, and there you see Esmer is currently in the process of snacking on some sort of a heavy breaded sandwich. Like it's mostly just bread with some sort of like slop or like a thick sauce in the middle that's just kind of soaked into it. And you watch, she's currently like reading, looks like a small ledger and breaking off parts of it and kind of just chewing on it before glancing up.
Smiley day to you. We came for a hi.
Hello, good morning.
Are you open yet?
Yeah, I'm open.
Well, we're here to buy our for our item. We were here yesterday.
Picking up our explosive.
Okay. Some people don't come back and they just get to keep the money, so just making sure.
Not today.
So it's not the most inconspicuous thing, but it will definitely do the job of which was promised. She goes around and opens up a case, and you watch as she like stops and then carefully and gingerly pulls this thing out and sets it onto the edge of the table where she was sitting. What you see is it looks like a leather backpack, but it is packed to the brim. And as she releases it and carefully opens the front, on the inside you can see a similar material that dynamite's wrapped in, but it is wrapped in a spherical shape around this kind of oddly... It would be round if it weren't so bulbous in places. It looks like a whole manner of contraptions and heavily packed explosives have been placed within this device. She kind of shows in the front. Now I give you a fuse option, as well as an arcane detonation option. So you either can just light the fuse, or for a little extra money, you can take this and it'll light the fuse for you anywhere between 5 and 10 minutes.
How much is that little extra
It's an
bit?
additional 20 gold pieces.
I'll throw that cash down. How?
How delicate is this?
Quite. I mean, you can carry it fine in the backpack, which is why I placed it where it is, but you don't want it to be jostled too much. You definitely don't want to get it near any fire. Definitely don't want to... just don't do anything with it, really, except for move it.
All right.
How much for the case?
That's
Pulled it
part
out
of
the
that's part
case.
of it. I
The
assume
case
that's
comes with it?
Yeah,
It's just
the backpack is part of that's how you would carry it.
Well, I mean, the backpack was in a case that you pulled it out of.
Oh, no, this is my storage case.
All right. Okay. 20 gold. All right.
20 gold?
All right.
So, and you watch as she shows you this device. It's a piece of polished stone, almost like a river stone. But on the front of it, there is a small, almost like a secondary portion of the stone that you watch. She rotates it and turns it, and as it does, these little lights kind of blink on around the outskirts of it. You go ahead and set it. It's 1 minute per one of these little notches, up to 10. It'll count down, and then you go ahead and stick it, and she pulls back the opening once more, and you can see where there is a fuse insertion point on this device. Place it on here, and it will ignite when it counts down.
all right. Who wants to wear an explosive backpack?
We do have a magic black
You're
hole.
gonna be an animal.
You.
I'll do it.
It's kind. Is it okay? Is it too big for you?
Is it too big for me?
No,
negate
it's...
some of his nimbleness.
Your strength is...
10.
10? I mean, it's not comfortable, but you can carry it. I'd say it weighs about 35 pounds. So you can carry it, but it definitely, if you were to stand up straight, you would start to fall back a bit, so you kind of have to compensate by punching a little bit. But you can do it.
Well, we're... Jostled. Well, we want it for the outside crew, yeah? So we can use it to
Just
get
in
in.
case.
So maybe F.C.G. wears it.
Sure.
You have a pretty smooth gait.
Or can you like put
I
it
do. I already wear a
inside you?
backpack, so
Like,
I'll just
get
swap it out.
Things start to melt inside of
What's in your backpack now?
Yeah.
Should I carry your backpack? Yeah. Okay, I'll take F.C.G's backpack and put it
Okay.
on, and then you can put on it.
Great.
All right. Well, it's been a pleasure doing business.
Yeah.
If you come across Dancer at all, tell her I say hi.
Yeah. I'm gonna reach out soon.
Okay.
Oh, well. You said it was inconspicuous, so no one would see.
Question.
You've been wearing that the whole time?
Yes.
Just now.
Okay.
Since break.
Oh my god, is that bad?
Staring at you for like 8 minutes.
I've been in the world.
We're terrible. He's amazing.
I just thought you were like above it. I was like, damn, just cool as a cucumber.
He's like, I'm not even going to
No.
address this.
Yes.
I'm not even going to acknowledge it. This is what you must ignore.
Yes.
What did you want to say,
good
Fern?
behavior.
I wanted to actually see, do you have like, kind of like baby size pepper boxes?
Just the way you phrased that.
My first pepper box?
Yeah, like just for Like, almost for like a child.
No,
What's the smallest one that you have?
the standard size.
What's the standard size?
Pulls up and you see it's about that long, thick barrel, big handle. It's a fairly decent size.
That's a big chunk.
Would you mind if my monkey
both
just
of them,
tried
right?
it out? Just to see like if it fits his hands, just to see if it's a possibility for him at all.
Make a persuasion check.
Okay.
What have I fucking about this DC's word?
You thought Ripley was bad.
I would want to see what happens.
That
was
would
hers.
be
Nothing good has ever come of that.
28.
No fucking way.
I rolled a natural 19. I have a very high persuasion.
Where you have a monkey?
Yes.
Oh my god.
Okay, mister. I was just trying to see if maybe we could get you something that you could put your flame seeds, your poo, into, and then you just shoot it. Maybe have better aim.
That's not how it works. Hello, monkey.
Does it fit his hands?
It's about the size of Mister. If like just slightly smaller. So Mister was like, reaches out, and it's like a baby holding a remote. It's not it's not compatible.
Do you like it? Is it too big? Okay. We'll find you a smaller one. Okay. All right. Come on.
He looks back at her. Little flames like as the flames rise up off of Mister for a second. Ha! Get him out.
Okay.
Not here.
It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. It's
Not
fine.
here.
Yeah,
It like points to
I
3 different
understand.
things that
Got it.
look like they could probably be flammable in the vicinity.
That's right.
Okay. Bye bye.
Yeah. Probably the worst combo ever. There's a bomb still on the
I
counter.
think a plain monkey
Well,
with a gun is a bad
technically
idea.
on F.C.G. Yeah.
There's no good answer here.
No.
Thank you. Someone had to say it. I'm glad it was you.
No.
Some mage's gonna imbue that monkey with dark intelligence.
All right.
Onward ho.
On the way out, after everybody's
on that
left,
much
can I
is
hang
worth.
back for a second?
Sure.
You knew Dancer? No Dancer?
Yes and yes.
Sorry, do you mind me asking, what did she look like?
Yes.
Does she look like... I'm sorry, I keep...
Dark black hair. Kind of a olive skin. And a bit of fuzz fur on the edges. Tattoo of a star on the right cheek.
You said fuzz fur on the edges. Is she, furbolg?
I actually never really asked. I've kind of questioned you, tossed into a
Yeah,
conversation.
you're right. That's... All right. What kind of relationship did she have with F.C.G?
I don't know who F.C.G. is.
My small mechanical companion.
Oh, right. I mean, she kept them. One of many different contraptions that she built and worked on, or scavenged and renovated.
Did she treat them like they were special?
I mean, she was proud of them.
Okay. Would you say that Dancer is a good person?
Dancer's a complicated person. But I would say, in comparison to this place, shining.
All right.
Okay.
Thank you very much for your troubles. I'll pass the silver across the counter.
All right.
All right.
Goes back to eating her sandwich.
Well, all right.
Seat of disdain? Seat of disdain?
Oh, yes, please.
Okay. So as you return to the Seat of Disdain, in the kind of central neighborhood that it's settled in, you can see the high walls and the stronghold itself kind of pushing beyond that boundary with its own kind of guard perches and balconies. Occasionally you can see the sentries of the Paragon's Call keeping watch and kind of cruising along the parapet with all manner of heavy crossbows and or rifles at the ready. The team that was planning to go forward, you're going to the back door? Back gate?
Does it seem like, does the back gate seem a little bit more subdued, subtle?
They're both massive. But you can tell there's a size difference. The main gate itself is like 15 feet, 20 feet. The other side is about, let's say, 10 by 15, so it's slightly smaller, but
That'll do. I'll knock there.
Okay.
I am going to go over to Dusk, turn myself into a little rat, and scurry up and get into their pocket.
Okay. The rest of you, what are you doing? The folks who are not approaching.
What are we doing?
That's you two twins.
Yeah. Who aren't paying attention?
And what else are you doing, Warren?
We're talking about this game. Sure.
I was just asking, like, what are you guys doing right now while they're going out?
Orem, immediately after we left the shop, Orem immediately fell in next to F.C.G. and is staying within 3 or 4 feet of him at all times.
Okay.
Just as a side note.
They're going in the back.
Nope.
The back gate.
Yeah.
Some people call it a back door.
Yeah.
What should we go in the front near?
I feel like we should just head to a little cafe or something and chill, so that we can
Not
see
really.
what's going on. But we're within.
Okay. Like
I
across
lead
the
them
street.
to the
Is that
dilapidated
done?
building that
Well,
Loudna
that's fun out.
hid out in
You got
the
it.
other day. There is no
Loudna.
Loudna.
All of them allow smoking on the patios. There's nowhere comfortable.
Because of Loudnam.
Yeah.
I assumed that
I've
was
heard.
why you.
Is it Loudness or
I
Loudness?
don't know.
Laudanum.
But indeed, not so much a plethora of cafes to choose from in the environment, but Orem.
It's not like just Paris. Well, you could just sit and have some
There's a
wine.
Panera Bread like 1.5 blocks that way.
Yeah,
That's
and 3
rough.
subways.
There's a little train station.
No one goes
Grand
in there, man.
Marnier.
It's dark.
But Orem does lead your troop towards a partially collapsed building of which he had become familiar with the previous day while keeping an eye on the Seat of Disdain.
Great.
So while you wait there, first off, I would like you all to roll a group stealth check for those who are
Outside.
heading into that space
As we
outside.
head in, I'm going to just do a quick, a range check to Imogen, and just send her a message and just say, Imogen, check 1, 2, check 1, 2.
I'm here.
And
My
don't
good
go
buddy.
too far.
I missed that. 20 for stealth.
Natural 20.
Great.
9. Just wanted to throw it out there before we separate from the other group. I was supposed to, and I will, cast something on you to help you with your persuasion charm, right? I will throw.
Perception, persuasion, any of it.
I will do a enhance ability, and it's the one that for charisma, right?
Something splendor. Remember?
Owl's wisdom, no.
Eagle's
splendor.
splendor.
Eagle splendor. Yes. So you have advantage on charisma checks.
Oh,
for the
thank
next
God,
hour.
because my charisma checks are really, really bad. Really bad.
Okay. But 9 for stealth.
Which makes sense. So you're being very careful with this satchel on your back. But the rest of your group was very, very good at trying to facilitate your maneuvering and getting to a space where you're no longer directly visible by the light. While the rest of you head towards the back gate of the Seat of Disdain. As you begin to approach, you can see some of the sentries clock you and your arrival and begin to kind of gather along the wall and start talking to each other a bit. Looking down, one of them shouts, "Hey, what's your business?"
Here to see, Rake. Rake sent me, Tanavir. Rake.
"Someone in for Tanavir!"
Do any of you call him the Rake?
He calls him the rake.
I had a fucking knew it.
There's a pause, and there's some chuckling and some conversation, and then you watch as a dwarven figure with a mohawk approaches the top of the wall and looks down at you and goes,
Enjoy chatting.
"Oh, I remember you."
Walk together. Thank you.
Hi.
Don't wave. What the fuck?
Well, just fucking see me. Told us to come on by. We're coming on by.
Why are you looking for work? You said you know Ratanish?
Yeah, I know Ratanish. Are we literally gonna do this outside, or can we not yell?
Let me go get Ratanish.
Fine.
Open the gate. He turns around, and some of the folks look at each other. One of them makes like a large kind of rotating arm motion in the air over the side and then a moment later you hear, and the two main doors begin to shift inward, revealing the interior of the courtyard from this other side. This is kind of on the back end of the central stronghold of the Seat of Disdain. And all eyes are on you. In the courtyard now, you can see what at least what you experienced when you first went through here, the half dozen or so individuals that were here. There was maybe like 4 or 5 that were patrolling, and now others are kind of coming out of the Citadel to kind of see what the hell this weird, interesting, unexpected commotion is. As you all kind of step inside, they form a semicircle to the point where you can enter the courtyard, but you get the sense immediately that you're not supposed to step too far in. And one of them kind of puts up a hand. Wait. They're getting the general.
How many bodies in this courtyard-ish?
Now there's 8 of them, and you can see at an immediate glance on the nearby wall parapets as well as the balconies of the stronghold itself, an additional 5 that are paying attention to you. When I say paying attention to you, like looking at you, but they're also looking over the wall. They're still keeping,
Doing the light sweep.
Yeah. An awkward 2 minutes or so of just people staring, talking to each other, some of them kind of chuckling under their breath, one of them spitting in the dirt, all wearing their, casual mismatch of armor. The only, continuation you can see between them, now that you kind of have seen more Paragons call and been around, there are themes of, gold or brass bands on parts of the armor, and things that match that Dusk Maven pendant, which you can see a consistency that they all seem to wear. Eventually, a crew of 2 more figures emerge from the Citadel. One of them is the familiar visage of General Ratanish, the large, half-giant figure. Kind of briskly walks up and looks over.
Hey.
Well, this is very unexpected.
Oh, yeah, I know. It's good to see you.
Quite unexpected.
Well, honestly, I've have a little work up here and doing a few favors for a few friends and visiting some old haunts. I'm actually born and raised, would you believe? Of course you would believe. Look at me. And I figured I was going to hit you up for maybe some, I don't know, if you ever got some smuggling, some bodyguard work. I figured since I'm going to be up here for a little while, except your asshole over here, Rake, whatever his name is. I'm so sorry, I can't keep these things in my head. I know. He kind of interrupted us on our time, and so I am forced to put this offer forward way before I was expecting to, and make a scene out of it because of this fucker.
Make a deception check.
Is it deception?
Come on.
Was I really actually?
Well, looking, you're actually. I'll say you can choose between the 2 depending on the angle you're pushing.
I'm angling for persuasion, not deception, which is good for this natural 20 that I just rolled.
Oh shit!
Best actions ever sounded.
Honestly, there was a tension on the arrival. You could see a little bit of math behind the eyes and a reticence to this unexpected arrival. But they quickly slacken and kind of lean onto the back foot as he kind of glances over the troop and goes, I'm glad our conversation took root.
Oh, yeah. No, I was fascinated by what you were talking about. I mean, when I lived here, Paragon, like, really? Like, getting out of the town?
Well,
it's nuts.
Trust me, it's been a... Otohan has definitely been changing the way we run business for the better. We are expanding beyond just the dust of the Hellcatch.
Well, I can tell you some other people I know in town will be happy that you guys are spreading out and maybe giving them a little more room. Or maybe you'll be holding on to what you have here. Well done regardless.
Who are your companions?
Oh, God, let's just a few
I'll
friends.
start. I mean, if we're naming ourselves after the instruments we use, you can call me Chisel.
Oh, my God.
Oh.
It's a very,
It's a finesse tool, but I mean, it can be pretty damaging in the right hands.
I know what a chisel is.
Oh, okay.
I want to see him use a rake, actually, now that you mentioned that. I want to really see what that looks like. I'm so sorry.
Denver, you have a rake? It's like, no, I don't have... That's not what it means.
Are you trying to make Rake happen?
No,
It's just a self-proclaimed title.
You can't give yourself a
nickname.
Yeah, someone else has to kind of
I mean,
bestow it.
if you made a crazy ass rake, then like I don't know, like beheaded somebody with
Fuck
it.
all, yeah. And he just kind of walks off.
Just trying to help. I really. Oh fuck.
It's all right.
This lovely person.
I'm Dusta.
Dusta.
Good alias.
Good.
All right, so we have Chisel and Dusta. And,
I'm Nightmare. I don't have a weapon, really. I don't know, like, what tools I have. It's just
Nightmare's
like,
good.
Nightmare.
You are your tool.
I am my tool.
But then the thing is that he referred to himself as like Tanavir the Rake.
I
So we
know.
can't be.
I know they're ridiculous, but I swear to God, I've actually been making a ton of money with these fucking people. Like better money than I've made in a long time.
so, okay, all right.
I'm just putting it out here. Probably going to be here for a week or two, maybe
And-
longer. And
Better go to you guys than the Fist of the Ruiners.
Ugh. But I figure since we have history, and this is interesting. It's nice to I would love to see what it's like to work with you rather than
Gents?
off to the side. If you know what I mean. I'm sure there'll be plenty of time for that in the future.
We don't commonly just take passing dalliances at face value. There is a... And while you and me have definitely squared off in a way that was in line with many of our intense means of judging an individual's character, I am not the person who makes these decisions.
Oh shit!
At least not when it comes to strangers entering our midst. I have a keen eye, but this goes above me.
Well, I'll say that we're not necessarily looking to join. We're just looking to sort of pick up whatever work you want off the books, which is a whole different field. I'm very, very big on off-the-books work. I mean, look at me. But
We're contributing to the gig economy.
Well, you can talk to her.
talk to who?
To her. And he turns around and walks off for a second. And as he looks over towards the stronghold and gives a loud whistle, some of the individuals enter the stronghold.
Why does this make me nervous?
Some of the individuals enter the stronghold?
Indeed. And I'm
Are they
about...
flanking us? Starting
No, they're still like in a circle kind of facing you. They're not flanking you, but they're definitely preventing you from getting
What's that
closer
doing
to
with
the
that
stronghold.
flask?
They're just kind of
Was that
keeping you
figured?
a little bit beyond the gate.
What's he doing with the tank? What's he
A
doing
moment
with the
later,
tank?
those figures return, and a woman walks through the front of the stronghold. You see a I want to say almost like a dancer's body, like very, very fit and compact, wearing dark leathers, a heavy cloak with a mantle that goes across the shoulders, and almost like a it's either a hood or a heavy scarf that almost buries the bottom of her head and face. From what you can see, her leather armor goes all the way up to the arm, but then the fingers themselves are exposed at the end. She has a dark tan skin, piercing eyes and kind of short gray hair that's kind of folded to one side a bit, that kind of bundles a bit to the side and curls under this way. She steps forward. Now, make a history check.
Quick audience question.
Yes.
Is this move inside, or are we still outside the gate? I can't remember.
Oh, you guys are outside the wall.
No, I know we are. I'm just asking as an audience of this scene, have we all moved, have they moved inside?
Yes. They've moved inside the wall. The gates are open and they're inside the courtyard, but they're being kept just beyond the gate.
All right. Great.
This bodes really poorly. This bodes so poorly. Natural 20.
Hey.
Bring them all on some really dumb shit. No.
This is not dumb
This
shit.
is, I'm going to be rolling ones for every fight. Knock on wood.
That's hilarious.
Oh,
so as the figure approaches, and you've not seen this figure, but you've heard the name Otohan.
So this is Otohan.
This is Otohan.
Otohan?
Otohan. O-T-O-H-A-N. Otohan.
Oh,
sorry, spell it one more time.
O-T-O-H-A-N.
One goes. In the head they go. Moon woman.
T-H-U-L-L. And you know the second name because as soon as this all comes together, you're like, I know this figure. It's been rumored that they're long been involved with Paragon's Call for the past 5 or so years, but then took the leadership and are responsible for expanding its influence beyond Bassaris and the Hellcatch Valley. You've rolled a fucking natural 20. The reason they have a reputation is because they were a famed warrior in the previous Apex War between the Stratos Throne and Ashenador. And they were essentially considered one of the greatest warriors under the Stratos Throne, both as a general who was a tactician and a strategist, but
Not the family, but this person.
But this person.
Okay, and I would I have been in this city for all that? This would have been before my time.
Well, no, you would have been very young. You would have been very young. You do not have memory of the actual conflict because a lot of it did go through Bassaris, and a lot of these crawler gangs were hired up by whoever was paying the most money at the time. In fact, a lot of the wealth and the materials they have now is based on what they acquired during the Apex War. But when the war was done, they just kind of vanished for a while and then popped up here, I guess trying to find some sort of fortune or meaning outside of conflict, and have risen the ranks to become the rumored head of the Paragon's Call.
I'm assuming Lotta would immediately get a ping that this looks very familiar.
I don't know how good that drawing is, though. It's kind of vague.
Gray hair, poof on the side.
It wasn't very.
Make a perception check.
12 performance check.
Come on.
Yeah.
It's like
this is a perception check.
Oh no!
No.
Okay.
11.
That's okay.
11.
Don't rush it.
You don't clock it.
I don't clock it.
You don't clock it. Not yet.
None of us know.
But
No.
she approaches, kind of hands folded behind her back as she steps up. Kind of looks, though she's not entirely, taller than you. She still almost feels like she's looking down at you. She kind of leans back a bit, and there is a presence about her.
I feel
Everyone
like
else kind of goes from this kind of slap happy, kind of fuck off band of brigands to kind of still and reverent as she steps out, and you can just sense they take up a lot of space.
Holy shit, for real? No.
So Ratanish tells me that you are interested in working with us.
Yeah. Wow. Are you? You're you? Oh, holy shit. Sorry. Fuck. Shit. I'm cool. Yeah, sure.
Hello.
I normally. Wow. Yeah.
She's deeply impressed. I know. She's deeply impressive
Yeah.
woman.
I think I do for another.
What are your skills? What can you do for us?
Quick recap.
On the surface, I'm a very, very good brawler. I know how to keep myself together in a fight. Otherwise, I have a lot of experience with B&E. some experience with smuggling, a little bit of bodyguard work, but moving things from one city to another, very, very high on the list. I've done a little bit of work with the clasp in the back in the time. Wow, you are a lot. I'm not normally...
Crosses her arms in front.
I can tell you I'm not normally wow.
Our friend seems quite starstruck by you.
Are you famous?
I had
We're not from
nightmares
around
about you
here.
when I was a kid. Holy shit.
Make a perception check.
17.
17. From what you can tell, and that you kind of glance over, on the cloak that she has on, it goes kind of a little bit past the back of the thighs. It's not a long cloak, it's a short cloak. And you can see kind of in the small of the back, there are two crossed sheaths that carry two blades behind. And with that high enough roll, there's an odd, I don't want to say like a hunch, but there's definitely the shoulders where the cloak is, there's something in the back.
Against the cloak?
Yes, something within the cloak that is not in line with the rest of the body shape.
Cool.
Options there.
Well, there are many ways to ascertain the will, the talent, and the drive to succeed in the city. The choice is yours. You fight, or you race.
I mean, you're kidding, right? I'm a local kid. I want to race.
We knew they were not getting out of it.
Before we choose, though, like, what does fighting look like, just theoretically?
Like who?
Theoretically.
Hypothetically.
You choose your two finest champions. I choose two of mine. And we go until down or dead.
Out of curiosity, who are your two finest? May we
That
see
is-
them before we decide?
No.
I'd hate to,
Just played all the crows.
remove two of her champions. So the race is probably better. We want to make a good impression.
I've heard a lot about these races. It seems very exciting.
To be honest, it's been some time since we've had one, and I've been itching to watch. So, do you accept these specifications?
Oh my god, I'm a Greymore. This has been practically my dream since I was 5. Yes, I want to do this. This sounds fucking great.
Real quick, any clocking of Trashy?
Make a perception check.
Thank you.
Get it. Get
Assist
it.
you.
I have-
Look around,
I
look
have
around.
utterly lost the fucking round now.
Jeez Louise. Jeez Louise. Nope, that is the worser one. So, 16.
That's not terrible.
Not too bad.
That's okay.
Right now, there are a lot of bodies around the Citadel. Like, there were some that were watching you, but then with Odohan stepping out of the stronghold, it is an all hands on deck, because obviously,
There we
like,
go.
something's happening. No sign of Treshy, you can see. We're fairly confident that he's not visible.
Sure.
So,
probably
just
more
to
because
set
you're
some
not
ground
there.
rules here, am I capable of looking up a sponsor? Do I have to put this shit together myself? And I have a little bit of time, obviously, to gather myself and get this shit together, and figure out who I want on a crew if we're going to do this.
We race at dusk.
Tonight? Oh.
Part of the resourcefulness is how you can adapt when the unexpected catches you. Do you have means of racing?
The thing about our crew is we are always on our guard.
Good.
We have a.
That's fucked up, man. That's cool. Okay.
With a couple of days.
Sorry. Yeah. Yeah. At dusk? It's early. We got time.
While we're sitting here talking amongst ourselves, can I kick a big of the air and detect any fey, fiends, or undead just from her, or from anybody else, since we don't know?
Sure.
We'll be this
Make a
close again.
perception check with advantage.
13.
13. Not picking up anything specific.
Cool.
And what would be our route as we race through the city?
Well, it's
There is one route.
the route.
Follow his lead. He is indeed a local.
Yeah.
Hey, run through the skids, you go into the booby traps, the ravine, the carbine, and then
picked it
all
up.
back to the base of the bone tree.
We've heard
All right.
things.
Do you have means of racing?
I think so. I'm going to try and put it together right now.
Okay.
For all of you? Good then.
You don't? No?
We only have one car right now.
We have one car.
We have one
If
car.
we, like, oh, I mean, because of course we do. But if we didn't, what would be our options?
Oh,
Hey, any loud news?
Yes.
She turns around and begins walking off and says, "Give them an emblem." And she just walks back into the stronghold. Yes,
Before
Fern?
she goes.
God
Fuck
damn it.
you.
What?
Don't you dare.
What are you doing?
It's going to be the phrase of my fucking
No. No, man. No.
Oh,
No.
God.
No.
Okay.
No.
Oh, God, this is so
Do it now.
dumb.
Show us
Do
what you
it.
got.
I am
Something.
going to crawl out of Dust's pocket and try to just real discreetly just try to run up Alhan's back and just like get into the bits in here and just try to see what it is. And
On
remain
whose,
total-
on whose back?
on mantle under the cloak.
On under.
That's what
on
we're
top?
We're gonna climb up her back.
The what?
This is
animal?
really
the
stupid.
war hero
I'm a
legend.
rat.
Sure, go for it.
Rat.
This is going to go.
You're
Okay.
this
Fuck.
big.
Well,
You're
it's-
about as big as a banana with a tail.
All right.
I am so confused. Kick as this thing runs by.
Roll stealth for me.
What color are you? The color of the ground rat?
It's very high risk, low reward. Just
Too late to make that decision.
It is. I am just like with a little tinge of green.
Oh, okay, cool.
You know, with
Right.
a little ribbon, so it's definitely somebody's
This is far enough that
Somebody's
we've already,
pet.
like, I don't know, have we turned around and started heading out by now already, or no?
You all kind of like exhale right as you can just see at the periphery of your vision something skitter across the ground. Go ahead and roll a stealth check using the rat's dexterity check.
Fuck my life. Fuck my life.
But I thought you used your own stats. No.
Your own mental stats, but the physical stats are of the creature.
5e rat.
Did you roll
Natural 20.
For a total of
Actually, you're
for
doing.
a total of 20.
Bring it down. Bring it down. Bring it down. Bring it down.
Sorry.
It's a high.
Sorry, Dad.
But still, natural 20.
Well,
She can't totally fail with a natural 20.
Are you
Matt can do
saying
whatever he
that?
wants.
Yes.
Actually, the natural 20
My God.
the natural
You-
20 in normal
You dart
gameplay.
from shadow to shadow of all the people that are standing in a circle. You kind of cruise through, preventing the majority of the sunlight to make you stand out so starkly against the very light dust across the ground. So you just kind of rapidly, before you realize that she's even gone. As she turns around laughing and says, "Give them the emblem." You lunge up and then, not going for the armor, but towards the back of the cloak, actually catch the bottom of and you kind of swing and pull yourself underneath the back of it. And as you're kind of holding on, you're kind of tapping the small of her back where the weapons are, kind of on the inside of the cloak. It is just a dark shaded interior with just bits of light that peek through as the cloak swings as she's walking towards the stronghold. What are you doing?
Okay, I just want to just nuzzle up into this area and just see what she's hiding. Well, I guess I wouldn't have known that you pinged something. I'm just trying to get a feel of what's going on in her
business.
business.
Make a perception check.
Okay.
Queen of
Come on,
chaos.
business rat.
Natural
Queen
20.
of
Come on.
chaos.
Yep.
Breathing deep. I'm breathing deep.
I mean, the thing is, her shape, everyone kind of can see it's a little odd.
There's
You just
something
you
going
picked up the
on.
weapons and the details there.
Yeah, 18.
Sorry, flat too.
18. Glancing up at the cloak.
I was excited to mention one.
Her body is like tightly wrapped in very finely made leather armor, like
Take
layers
note
and
of
layers
beautiful blood.
of very well made leather with all manner of like metal bits that are kind of woven into it. Along the back, from what you can see, there is like a strange contraption, like an. It looks almost like a very small backpack, but it's got a lot of like kind of gold and brass elements of it that are kind of fixed over the shoulders and in the middle of the shoulder blades. And it has like a 2 cavities in the middle of it.
Holy shit.
That's all you can make out of it. You don't know what the detail it is.
This is a mandalorian.
She's the fucking
Oh my,
rocketeer.
yeah, she's fucking yes.
Yeah. Okay. Are there any?
That's so dope.
That's really cool.
Fucking cool.
What?
Are there any like little pieces of metal that I could maybe just take out?
Oh my lord.
Is this so stupid?
Did you not want to play with this?
Okay, wait. Okay,
No,
let me
you're
just.
doing it. You're doing it.
Are you attempting to
You're doing
climb
it.
like closer up within the cloak to get a better look?
Do it.
I feel like I have enough info.
It's up to
Rats
you.
chew
No.
wires.
I am going to see if there are wires. I'm just gonna peek. Just a peek to see if there are wires. If there aren't any wires, I'm gonna haul ass.
Roll one more perception check
Okay.
for me.
Okay.
Oh, we know how she met her end, Marisha.
19.
I'm so excited.
19?
Wow.
What is
Really good.
more than you told me the luck he has?
Whispers?
I'm not okay.
What is happening right
I'm
now?
so not okay right now.
Only Eric is into it.
Go for chaos,
She is
everyone.
purely fueled by chaos.
Oh my god, this is so stressful.
This is so stressful that I
It's so
feel.
stressful that I can't find the details of the D&D Beyond
I was-
ad I'm supposed to read right now, but just know that D&D Beyond
Pretty good.
exists.
I'm staring at it right now.
I know, on D&D Beyond right now.
Oh God.
I didn't want
Okay.
bells, I wanted claps.
Let's change things a little bit.
I'll try to look up
Other
Swiftner.
rats in there.
Yeah.
They're all in a little wheel.
You here for the family reunion?
Odohan is actually 87 rats just holding onto each other.
Rats and crunch coat.
It's the knuckle.
I'm gonna take a sniff to see if I can pick up on if there are any elements or things that I can gather. I'm gonna put on my best chat and I'm
Well,
gonna.
you rolled a pretty high perception in general. I'll say for this roll an Arcana check for me.
Okay. That's not my best. No. 9. Nope. 7. Minus.
Nothing.
Okay.
Nothing is catching your interest or memory.
I am going to, since I'm underneath her cloak, I'm just going to put my claw on the cloak and just
Write it down.
Write it down.
Okay.
Errol Flynn down the cloak.
Yes, Errol Flynn down the cloak.
Yes.
And haul ass to Dusk and get back in their pocket.
Okay. Roll one more stealth check for me.
Oh, what are we gonna do tonight, Brian?
And this was last week.
Please.
Trying to break the game.
Ooh.
Yep.
Oh no.
This is where.
7.
Oh! Yeah, as soon as I said, ooh, and I know, like, oh crap.
As you scamper down the back of the cloak, kind of scraping through, you flip out and emerge onto the ground. And as you kind of begin to scamper back to the group, the first thing you see is Ratanish, who has like been watching Odohan leave as they kind of all focus over and goes, and immediately clocks you. And kind of just gives this kind of snarled look before stepping towards you briskly with the intent of engaging.
I just roll on my back.
Okay, you roll onto your back. Yes, well, at this point, at that low stealth check, yes. You realize that Fern's gone, no longer in the pocket, and then now see a rat darting away from Odohan and Ratanish kind of turning and marching towards her.
Poots! I run over. I scoop her up.
What did you say?
Poots!
Boots.
Boots?
Poots!
Because he was like going ready to go ahead and stop it as you ran a rush over. Make a deception check for
Come
me.
on.
Okay.
Don't fuck this. Don't fuck this.
Come on, Dusk.
Manishi.
Duster. You got this.
Come on.
Dirty 19.
Okay.
That's
Ratanish kind of it would be preferred that you keep your animals close by.
or else they're liable to get squashed.
I'm so sorry. It will never happen again, sir.
I know
No.
and
So
just give
much.
all the rat nuzzles and all
Fair
the
enough.
things.
Reaches in, pulls out a small coin that looks like a pressed emblem of a gold bird skull, and goes ahead and like flicks it over towards you. Take that to Joe. We'll give you a loan.
This is everything I ever wanted. Thank you.
Joe will give us a loaner.
Oh.
All right. At dusk, meet at the bone tree. Bring your rights. And steps
Oh
inside.
my lord.
So
With that, the
they
rest of
won't
the
be
guards kinda
needing
glance at
a
you.
symbol quite yet.
Yeah, be glad it wasn't a fight.
So
But the last face you ever see.
He's not kidding.
Honestly, he's ripped as fuck under there.
Fuck shit up.
He's got a 12-pack.
On a 6-pack.
A couple of labs kind of chuckle through. They're not taking you seriously.
Yeah, we'll fix that.
I got a bunch of shit to do. Oh
Alright,
no.
logo will be,
You exit
River.
the gates.
but you see
Close
my
behind
boat
you, and
on like one of the corners and stuff.
the afternoon is yours.
Wow, we got stuff to do.
They're taking too long in there. I'm gonna set off the bomb.
Oh, yes. No, hold that thought. Yeah, Logna, what? Yes.
All right. We just got out. We're heading your way.
Heading our way.
It was my adrenaline
Adrenaline, what?
very high.
Yeah.
There was a crazy badass woman. I'll tell you all about it. Where are you? Are you at the Panera?
We'll meet you in the street. We'll meet you in the street.
All right, didn't get drunk. No.
Right. Covertly, you dovetail back into a singular group a little ways away from the seat of disdain. As you gather, what do you want to do?
As we walk and talk, with like the 5 minutes before we reconnect, I just Ashton, who the fuck was that?
Yeah, you got pretty tongue-tied.
Yeah, that was Odahan Thrall. That's like
Is she royalty?
kind of. Back when I was a kid, if you wanted to talk about the most fucked up, crazy, please correct me if I'm wrong, DM, insane motherfucker in the history of this town who just killed and fucked everything up, this was the person. This was nightmare fuel, this person. And they have been gone for, I mean, they were gone when I was a kid. And like, what the fuck are they doing back? Like, this is...
Running a crawler game.
I'm trying to think of anybody that you would know that isn't a pop culture reference from an entirely different universe, and it's really hard. Like, they're that cool. This is like, these are this is a serious person. Like, don't fuck with person.
What's their name?
Oh, Imogen!
Hi.
Hello! Hi!
Wow.
Hi! You guys are here.
Hey guys.
Odahan Thrall.
Just on your shoulder.
Thul. Thrall. Thul. Thul. Yeah, that's right.
Thul.
I have handwriting.
Odahan Thul. Have I ever heard of Odahan Thul?
Roll a history check.
Come on.
Come on, bud.
12.
No.
Nope.
Morbid.
Oh, yeah.
It was crazy.
It's
We
a local
walked in, and there were guards everywhere, and they were like, "Ooh, we're gonna circle around you," and we were like, "We're cool." And then Ashton like talked really well. You did a very good job. And then
Thank you.
And when we saw Ratanish,
Very good.
and we were like, "Ratanish, what's up? We want to work for you." And then Ratanish was like, "Well, that's not my call, so I've got to call in her." And then she came out, and it was this Odahan Thul woman, who was like, had a really like nice body.
It's very tight, keeping it, especially considering how old.
If they're
Holy
leading
shit.
something like they're doing on call, then they would be
Yes,
right.
yeah.
She
She
said
We either had to like fight with two of our champions, or do a race,
Race.
and we decided to do a race.
Yeah. And they gave us a token.
So we get 2 vehicles.
Oh, we can surprise them with our second vehicle because they only think that we're going to get.
We are walking
That's
to All
cool.
Minds Burn at the moment, by the way. I'm
We're
leading
making
everybody.
all mines burn? We're not walking to fucking Joe's?
Well, you guys can hit Joe's, but I'm going to hit All Minds Burn first. Still, there's some stuff I need to take care of real quick.
Is it going to be fast? Because I feel like Joe needs. When are we racing?
Tonight.
Dusk.
Why? He needs all the time he can get.
I'll meet you guys at Joe's.
They were like, wait, take this and then you can have a loner. Oh, we just had.
Wait a minute. Scampered up her cloak.
Okay, wait.
Yes. What'd you see in there?
Amazing.
Oh my God.
Doesn't
What were you
Joe
gonna?
only have the 2 vehicles that?
I mean, he might have some for loner, but here's
Yeah,
the
the
thing.
loners might be
If this is specifically an emblem that Paragon's Call gives, and we're going against Paragon's Call, don't you think there's a chance that they might give us a shitty one?
It's Joe's. Joe's gonna. We've already got one that we paid for.
I don't think Joe knows who we're going up against. We've just got the backing of Paragon's Call.
Yeah, all right.
No, but you do make a good point. Like, why would they want us to have an amazing vehicle if they're trying to beat
Because
us?
it's not about the vehicle.
Although,
it's
wait.
about the drivers.
Is that true?
Well, if we get a loner, it's going to be shitty. Loners are always balls, but
Yeah.
2 against 1 will help.
Well,
You
I don't
understand?
know if they have more
one.
than
They're gonna
but
have more
one.
than one.
But wait, hold up. They're
I know.
challenging us to a race to decide if we are good enough to hire.
Yes.
Yes.
So they
So if
probably
we don't die, they'll
so
hire us.
They want us. They want us it to be more or less evens, so they can judge our worth as
You don't,
as
you don't
worth.
judge somebody's worth by seeing how they do in a fair fight. You judge them by how they do in a not fair fight.
Yeah, and to be fair, it sounded like they wanted more entertainment than actual additional employees.
Yeah, she
Despite not being fair, that is fair.
Did you
like,
clock
ooh,
your
I'm
man
itchy.
out? Did anybody check for your man? No?
I looked, but
I got distracted.
It's also there's a lot of talk not just about the vehicles, but what's laid on the road. So that's totally separate.
Which is why I'm going to be like, oh, mine's burning in a second.
And also, we should be very mindful of the fact that the 4 of us were the faces that walked in. So then it's got to be 1 of the 4 of us or 2 of the 4 of us on the skirmisher.
Why?
We can fuck around with that.
Well,
I don't
because
know
if it's 2 other randos
Then they'll
on the
see you.
skirmisher, then that would be weird, right?
It'll be all right.
What did you see under there?
Okay, so I was a rat, and I went over to this Autohan and just crawled up her beautiful, just lithe, very in shape body, and went up her cloak, and she had this like backpack underneath.
Okay.
And I got in there, and it was, 2 like cylindrical 9-inch holders, and there was like a crystal in there in each kind of a thing.
What kind of crystal?
I couldn't tell. That is not my
That was
specialty.
filling the cavity or waiting at the bottom?
At the top.
It was like in the.
So to help explain what you saw.
Yes.
I'm picturing 2 crystal dildos right now.
Well, they looked like crystal or glass containers,
Like canisters?
like canisters or vials of some kind.
The
That was an
cylinder
important
was
word that I
made
forgot.
out of.
Correct. There were 2 fittings in there, and then when she glanced up within there were 2 of these, about that long, crystal containers that were kind of embedded or placed up inside.
Empty. Oh, are they translucent? Like, could she see inside?
There was very little light. You just saw what little bit of light was there, kind of, showed you some of the shape and the general surface of it. But that was all you got.
So it wasn't much, but it was obviously something a bit strange. And she was, just a really cool leather suit and yeah, like this.
She had like really like smooth, like tan skin, and like gray hair. It was all kind of like pulled to the side,
Wow.
Yeah.
I'm curious to know what Matt was going to try to tell Taliesin like 5 minutes ago.
Tell who?
I was going to just note that from the experience of you watching various races in the past, it's generally not a singular faction, because then it would be the faction beating the shit out of its own faction.
Oh, so it's going to be a bunch of people.
It's usually like when one happens, other people who are looking for an excuse to get some anger out or to work through some sort of a disagreement, people usually jump on when they hear something's happening, and it fills out the ranks pretty quickly.
Like a noise music club. Okay, I'm into it.
Like a noise music club.
It's a thing. When they happen, people get into it because they're having issues. All right. I we'll meet y'all unless somebody wants to come to All Minds Burn.
I'm just curious. Their minds are connected. Hive mind to what? Do you know?
To drugs.
I don't know. No.
You don't know if there's like a big insect under the ground.
There is, in fact, a giant, big insect under the ground, but I think it's just there. I don't think it has anything to do. I don't know what the fuck they're doing. No, it's just drug shit.
Okay, no, I'm good.
What do you want to do with them? You're always so enigmatic, Ash.
Well, you can come. They owe me a favor. I'm gonna take care of it. You're welcome to join in. And actually, on that note, I'm still hyperventilating from that shit. Cheddar, we're being followed.
Are we being followed?
As soon as he says that, I start looking around.
Perception check.
Oh yeah. Thank you.
Didn't ask you.
I know that. I have a super high perception, so tough shit. 21.
21.
22.
No.
You can hear him making it up on the 22.
Nothing clocks. You don't clock anything that sets on your alarm bells. You're
Thank
worried.
you.
They owe you a favor, or you owe them a favor?
They owe me a favor, and when they do this, I'll owe them a favor. They're friends. They're friends.
Okay.
So,
You're
All
welcome.
Minds Burn and Joe's, or are we going to divide and...
I'm going to meet you with
Joe's.
Joe's. All
Sounds
Minds
good.
Burn's not going to take a long time. I'm just hopping in and letting them know what I need and hopping out.
Yamaha Joe, let's go.
Let's go!
Let's go.
All right.
Did you need company there, or are you good?
I was just offering because I know you had such an interesting time last
Yeah,
night.
but it was pretty fucking terrible at the same
Ashton's
time.
going
Yeah,
to
that's why I was offering.
the drug place. Yeah. If you wanted
I'll go with Ashton just because I'm curious as to what the fuck he's talking
They'll
about.
love you.
I'll go to Joe's.
They'll love me?
Yeah.
Then I have to go.
Okay, so as you divide here for the moment, most of the group going off to the ends, to Imahara Joe's. We're going to go ahead and follow the two of you as you head back towards the palace, or are you going to any other establishment?
I'm just going straight to talk to Justy and get her
Okay.
on board.
Got it. So at this point, it's kind of a little afternoon. You approach the familiar site of the green glass domed palace, the kind of center of a lot of the All Minds Burn business network in the city. You continue up the familiar stairs to the open archway and enter the shaded interior of the building. Another smattering of probably 9 figures are in there in different places. But what would you like to do?
As we enter, just taking a look around, see if anyone clocks us. You're going to love this place. It's fucked up. Yeah.
It's like inspiration for nightmare fuel.
Honestly, I think you might be inspiration for them, but we'll see how it goes.
I can be someone's muse.
Well,
This is all I've ever wanted.
there's no someone's here. Anyway,
What?
you'll see.
All right.
Is anyone clocking us at this point?
As you're having this conversation, yeah, everyone in the room who's in the process of either like reading a book or like sitting and eyes closed, either meditating or falling asleep. Some other individuals, like there's like an odd hammock that's hung against what looks to be a part of broken kind of sconce to one side that's attached to one of the various load-bearing pillars here.
I don't know. This seems pretty boring. So
They
far.
all immediately kind of glance over
Eh?
as you enter, and then they all begin to relax and go back to whatever they were doing.
Just loud enough to be heard. Hey, y'all, I just need a minute with Justy, if she's around.
They all kind of turn back towards you again, like almost in unison. And they all kind of look up towards the top, and you hear the shifting and moving of something up in the rafter. And then and a large spiral flying down, the red cardinal individual that you know as Justy. You see an Isphera of like a deep red crimson feathers who lands onto the front of the steps where you are. Kind of, you just walked in and they're kind of greeting you right at the front. They land. Hi.
Hi. Thank you so much for... Oh, yes.
Hello?
Hello.
Oh. Ooh.
You are?
You're in my personal bubble. I am Laudna.
Laudna.
Yes, pleasure. You don't do shakesies, all right?
Hi.
You must be Justy.
Mm-hmm.
That's fun.
Sometimes.
I'm so excited. My two favorite nightmare fuels in the same room together.
It's an honor to be nightmare fuel with you.
You're adorable.
There's like a singularity forming between the two of them.
This was everything I hoped. You were right. We race at dawn. Dusk. I'm so used to it. Planned at dawn.
Race at dusk. There it is.
Shit. Fuck. Yes. Any help that you can give would be greatly appreciated. Possibly compensated with information, a favor.
Make a persuasion check with advantage, since you have a positive relationship with Justy from the past, and they do owe a favor. This will determine how far they can go.
Don't fuck with me. That could be worse. Persuasion. I rolled an 11. I rolled an 11, which means 10.
Gotcha. Okay. Not terrible.
Wowzers. What?
Oh, wait. Do I still have? Oh, yeah, that wouldn't matter. That would still just be advantage. No, I'm sorry. That means 9. I have a -2 to persuasion.
Okay.
I hit things. Yeah. That sounds right.
I'm a lot.
You are.
Yes. There are favors owed. We can help.
I would deeply appreciate that. And I might have some information that you might already know, you might not, but if things go well, I might be able to feed you some interesting gossip about things going on at the Paragon. Right?
Fair trade.
Always.
Fair trade. And you hear the voices go, fair trade in the room.
Fair trade. I like instinctually add to it.
She has voices in her head too.
Would you? And kind of reaches out their hands to you, grabs your hand, and kind of just holds it for a second and looks you over.
What are you about to do?
And they pull their hands away, and there's a small satchel in your hand, about the size of a gold coin or so.
What is it?
You open it up inside, and there is like a dark crushed, almost like a slightly earthy, damp powder.
We're in a bit of a rush. I think maybe this might be a post-game.
Is this for right now? What do
We are in
If
a bit
ever
of a
you
rush.
Okay.
There is much that are offered within these walls if you join the wavelength.
Oh. Got a few wavelengths kicking in my brain.
Maybe we can help.
I just kind of look around to the others. What are
the
they all
attic.
doing? Clear the attic.
I don't think you can clear my attic.
We'll discuss further, actually. That's not a bad idea. I'll keep you posted. As always, you are such a sweetheart.
One moment. Then grabs onto one of the hanging cords from the ceiling, kind of like swings back and forth a bit before kind of scurrying up. Goes from like this like graceful bird flight to like almost like a rapid spider climb up into one of the like, kind of holes of bundled rags and repurposed bags and burlap up there. It's almost forming a small nest before they emerge and then drop down with almost a full dive before and perching once more before the two of you. And under one arm, you see this kind of like bright yellow cloth, kind of sun bleached a bit, like the color's faded a bit. He takes it and tears it in two. Wear this, so we know who not to target.
There'll be one. We have 2 vehicles. We'll have one on each, if that works.
Good. I'll let them know.
Thank you.
They know.
I will one day get used to that. We'll see you soon. Thanks, Justy.
Of course.
Thanks for the dime bag. All right.
Good luck.
That bird used to party so fucking hard.
Apparently I did, but they still do.
Well, it's complicated. That's a very nice thing. You should hold on to that for later, and we'll have a discussion about they do kind of have some therapeutic. Well, we'll get into it later.
Drugs could get rid of the dead woman in my head.
Say, make a.
I know. I'm trying to.
History or
walk the line
medicine?
here.
History or medicine? Your choice.
They're both the same, I suppose. If it would be local knowledge, so I guess it would be
So go history.
and it's no advantage on that. No, 5.
5. Okay. Best that you know is that this is one of the premier substances that is cultivated and put out by Alliance Burn. And everyone that begins using it ends up kind of like everybody in that room.
Okay, I had a feeling. All right. We'll save that for later.
All right.
Goodbye.
Toodaloo.
Back up to the glass green ceiling.
We'll head out. About 2/3 of the walk down towards Joe's.
Towards Joe's.
Yeah, keep that on you, but don't take that. It's just be rude not to take it.
Sure.
But it means they like you. It means they like you a lot. Don't take it.
Okay.
Unless things get real bad up there, but you know.
I wonder what Delilah would do on drugs.
Well,
instant reinforcement.
She would suddenly find herself going from the mansion of your mind to a cramped apartment complex.
With a lot of other people.
With a lot of other people who are very used to being in heads.
Could be kind of funny.
It could be kind of funny.
And you potentially could let her get control of them. I do not want her.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Double dare.
The rest of you make your way to the ends, to the familiar neighborhood of all the numerous tinkerers, engineers, and scavengers that are colloquially referred to as the Roaches, to the exterior of Imahara Joe's shop. It's now early afternoon or so, and the front doors are open. The shop appears to be functioning, and you can hear the distant sound of work being done in the workshop.
Who wants to sweet talk Mr. Joe?
Are we sweet talking?
Well, I mean, he's got to do a lot more work a lot faster.
That's true. I have deception, but I'm not very good at persuasion.
Deceive him. We can just tell him.
Was it all by me, or
Okay.
He wants to bone you. You should fucking talk to him.
Is that how it went?
Yeah.
Oh, no wonder my signals are getting so mixed.
Hello.
Oh, okay.
So you step into the workshop. You can see the familiar hanging chains with tools and pieces of scrap that are either going to be gotten to at some point or are just an ongoing project. You can see there are other people who are actually assisting different smaller projects here. Previously, when you came in kind of later in the day, it was just Joe. But you now see other people who are probably working under him that are in the process of like polishing or scraping or cleaning or just kind of tending to the interior space. You do also see the familiar glowing baubles of the various kind of arcane power devices that run a lot of the automatons and the crawler-based machines that are brought here for repairs or built from scratch, depending on what is needed. As you walk in, they kind of acknowledge you and keep an eye, but, continue their work. And then as you go through the back door to the kind of open workshop area that's caged in where you had your final conversation with Joe, you can see now there is one familiar-looking skirmish crawler that previously was unfinished, now is on the cusp of completion. Wow. With additional armor plates put upon the front and the front wheel. And you can see Joe currently stands atop this, it's like a raised platform with multiple sets of stairs that lead to the top, and there is a chain device that kind of affixes to almost like a girdle that he wears that allows him to lean really close to the device without falling over into it. Because you can see there are many pieces of jagged, pointy metal that just protrude from this device at all angles, and it would be very bad to fall onto it. This is a large, almost like a welding shield in the face that has what looks to be some sort of a spyglass extension on it, and he's down there with that long device, the pronged fork at the end, and as he's like placing it along the edge of the metal, you see this bright arcane spark that kind of like flares off of it with this long kind of drifting blue flame that almost leaves a trail from wherever he moves it around as it arcs across. And as he pulls it through, you watch as the metal fuses and without leaving a trace of it once being two separate pieces. He finishes the work he's doing, kind of pulls back and pulls up the front, looks it over, face is just covered in dirt and soot, and kind of wipes it a little bit, glances over. Oh, hi.
Hi.
Hey, Joe.
It's looking real good.
Thank you. I take pride in my work, and this is going to be functional.
Fun
In
question.
how many hours exactly?
Oh, I mean, I can have this done by the end of the afternoon, probably.
Oh, amazing. And, fun
Just a couple
question
days
for
for
you.
the two.
In theory, if you had any loners that we would need imminently for
I hold
a
up
Paragon's
Paragon's
call,
Oh, so you went ahead and got an emblem. Okay.
would that be ready by dusk?
Yeah, I mean, I have a couple loaners here that I mean, they're not for sale, which is why it wasn't something we were talking about before. But I can get
How
you
do
one.
they
Yeah,
stack up quality-wise?
they run.
Is there any way
Yeah.
to soup them up a little bit before dusk hits?
I mean, I can call in some of the team, but it's going to cost extra.
How much extra?
Well, what kind of upgrades do you want? Do you want mounted weaponry? Do you want the same armor upgrade that I gave to this device here?
Armor upgrade, speed, and
I mean,
agility.
upgrading a loaner, I'm just saying, is normally not done because you pay for the upgrade and then the car comes back to me.
Hey, it's an investment in you.
I mean, yeah, it's your coin to burn, I guess.
This is good for one.
Oh,
The loner.
yeah, one loaner per emblem, yeah.
We could just pump all of our hopes and dreams into this one.
No, all four of us have to.
I
have
understand
To prove
we would
ourselves.
still take the loner out, but more as like a scout, decoy, defense sort of vehicle, and not as the one that's going to win the day.
One that throws the others off.
Or we could try to improve both of them, I suppose.
What would it cost to do a bump in agility, armor plating? No need for any more extra guns.
Armor plating for a loaner, I'll cut you to about 150 gold.
How much money you got, Dusk?
I got some. I got that. Could we do 100 considering it's come back to you?
Make a persuasion check.
That's decent. That's a decent argument.
Yeah.
17.
She's a suitor.
Sure, I'll throw it in for 100.
Nice.
Okay. We'll do it.
Okay, I just got to pay the team because I'm pulling folks on their day off to go ahead and get this done in time.
And
so.
we really appreciate that.
No, of course. I just make sure I take care of my team. So, whew, okay. By dusk.
Yeah, there's a race at dusk.
Oh, and also, I don't know if you charge for this, but how do you drive one?
Oh no.
Oh.
Well, okay.
Oh no.
And he goes to show you underneath the main chassis.
Oh, no.
There is one of the large kind of blue glowing arcane powering spheres. Same make of a lot of the ones you've seen throughout the shop, but this one's relatively large in size. So these the larger ones here we have to import, but this here is what powers the entirety of the device. Here, in order to function, it has to be connected in these certain ways, and he kind of shows you kind of where it sits within there. For the most part, just don't bother with it once I have it situated there on top, and he kind of shows, because there's two seats. There's like the recessed one that kind of sits in the middle of the chassis where there is what looks to be a set of handlebars, like a T handlebar. And he says, turn this way to turn, and rotate the wheel, and this way to go this way. If you go ahead and pull back on it, there is kind of a spring mechanism that can kind of push the front wheel up if you need to go ahead and like jump onto a ramp of some kind or to come down upon someone. the back seat here, and there's a second like raised seat portion, is where the passenger sits, and this is usually used as a spotter or a gunner or whatever the assistant would like to assist with from the back of the vehicle. There are also a number of and kind of points to the front of the windshield, and you can see there's like a whole manner of spikes, almost like a jaw, like a lower jaw that's open with teeth protruding forward. This is a lot of ramming power. I would be lying if I didn't say I have to clean these a lot, because sometimes people get thrown onto them, or after losing, they get thrown onto them and ridden around as a victory lap. It gets a little brutal around here sometimes, but you know, these wheels are pretty sturdy, but with a proper side swipe with enough damage done, you can probably take out a front wheel. Also, front wheels, when you're moving really fast, if those get destroyed, that's real bad. That means the vehicle's likely to spin out of control and detonate. You're going to want to abandon the vehicle if you feel the front wheel starting to go as soon as humanly possible. And if you have a chosen prime deity, to pray hard. These are all imperfect designs because they are built largely from other devices. So they're, I don't say prone, but there's always a chance of a little stutter, a skip, a malfunction. Very rare, very rare. Very funny when it happens, but very rare. So just don't jostle it too much, I would say. Best you can.
How long's the factory warranty on these pieces?
Don't just be careful. Be careful with it.
Is there a way, just out of curiosity, in sort of like the back behind the cockpit area, is there a way that like an automaton's head could just sort of come out and
I knew you would.
Yeah.
just sort of just sort of be there?
Your
If
stuff
you're gonna be
was
in the back of it, I can go ahead and quickly throw on a little bit of
We
it.
haven't chosen our drivers
We
yet.
should figure out our drivers.
Fair enough. Then there's the loner, and he points over to the back, and you can see kind of in the corner, hanging on another like chain hook, a similar like chassis to the one that you have, but does not have any of the additional armor. It has a number of scrapes and like holes in parts of the sides where you can see it's been brought into a few other races before and taken a few hits. It looks definitely serviceable. It doesn't like it's, you know...
G is going R2D2.
Like, you know, a jalopy about to fall apart. But it definitely looks like it's seen a few runs. It shows the wear and tear.
I have like a
pretty sure as he was like, but it will definitely run. Just don't push it.
These edges Disney
don't
World.
push it too hard.
And do you think, folks? Oh, sorry, Dusk.
Please go ahead.
I was just gonna say, do you think,
I'm debating whether or not to show you.
given what time of day it is right now, which we
We
all
need to
know
put that in
because we're
video.
sentient beings who can see the sun, but I don't know what time it is right now.
To help illustrate too, like this is actually what it looks
Show change for you.
Oh my god, with the legs in the back.
Where did this happen?
Cool.
like. Recently,
Gently.
Oh.
If the race is tonight at dusk, do you think folks might already be on the track, on the course, setting traps and sabotaging?
how soon was the race set?
Today.
Like a few, maybe an hour ago, max.
Oh, I'm sure word's gotten around. People are probably gathering to pick their places along the run, to set up chairs and barrels and wherever else to watch it from, and people are probably jumping into it now, throwing their, interests into the ring of it all, and probably over the next few hours. I mean, it's pretty rapid turnaround, so there's not going to be an opportunity for a lot of setup. Usually if there's more runway to it, people can really get around planning, but I'm sure folks are going to be trying all sorts of weird last-minute shit. That's part of the game.
If you throw something in from the sidelines, is that against the rules or?
Not really. Just make sure whoever it hits, none of their friends are near you in the crowd.
Makes sense.
It's not illegal.
And is
It's
crowd lining
not
the
against the
entire
rules. It's
course, or are
just
there parts where it's more desolate?
I mean, it depends on who's racing. We've had a few races where like major figures, top-end generals of the various crawler gangs are going neck to neck, and everyone turns out for that. For this quick turnaround, and no offense, bunch of no names probably on the road, might be maybe a little thin, but.
The arcane batteries. Where are they from?
I mean, all over the place. Why?
Just, they're never really seen things like that.
Oh, I mean, they're all over Exandria. Many great artificers, crafters, mages, they craft and enchant them and utilize them to run automatons, make them run, defensive protective magic matrices for larger, construction spaces. A lot of these run, short-run teleportation circles. They are utilized in larger ritual magics. Like they're multi-use and they're very effective. They're just hard to make, and that construction process is fairly guarded by a number of interests out there.
Is there anything we should keep away from them?
I mean, anything really pointy, coming at it very strongly, because they can explode.
I think at least Ashley's eyes pop. Like,
2 arms.
They can explode.
A skirmisher crawler?
Technically, are you? Like, if you went down, could we enter you into the race?
And try to...
I'm gonna sit on top of it.
Is he trying to do an alt form? I think he's trying to assume his
But
alt
like, could we technically?
Yeah, your bomb is like scraping the floor as you do this.
Oh god, the bomb! I forgot about that.
Just don't jostle the power source too much, but it's like, I mean, it's not like it's lightning or fire is bad.
Someone else is thinking, it feels like you Transformers.
It can probably take a little bit of both. It is arcane power. If it's
I
natural
went
fire,
there.
probably resist it pretty well. Lightning, I can't tell you. I know what lightning will do to it. There are some devices that, it uses magical lightning to channel through, but there is always a point of it being overcharged, and things go south from there.
Kaboom!
Also depends how old it is, and how stable it is. I mean, there's a lot of variables involved here. It's an imperfect science.
Do most of them run on these sort of arcane batteries?
Yes. I mean, the larger crawlers, we have multiple. But for the skirmish crawlers, they only need the one.
So the best way to destroy them is with something pointy and explosive?
I mean, yeah. It's gotta be pretty strong.
Oh, great.
They're sturdy.
They're putting the diamond spears.
We're talking this fella's ear off. He's got to go to work.
Yes, you're right. I do.
Sorry, Mr. Joe.
That's okay. 100 gold?
Oh, 100 gold.
Yeah. I can. If you guys don't have it in the stores.
No,
I
yeah.
can,
Let's. I'll contribute 20 to that.
I'll do 80.
All right, between that, give me about 4 hours. It's not going to leave much wiggle room till dusk, but you
No wonder how many people are going to die
over to the bone tree, which is usually where it starts.
Yep.
And
go off that on whatever left of the
Get
contract.
back to work. He pulls the face mask down and calls out to somebody inside the shop.
About half an hour
Give me
left.
Stanley and Adorna. And the people inside the shop begin to kind of talk and scatter a bit, and kind of shakes his head. All right, let's bear down. Gets back to fusing the heavy armor onto the crawler that you had purchased.
Woo!
Oh, man, this is going to actually happen. Should we... What?
We're probably already walking. We're probably close to where you guys are because we did not stay at the.
We got to figure out how to drive, but we can't do that without the vehicle.
Right.
We could go walk the course.
We should go to the course, probably look at it and check it out.
Yeah.
We have a bomb we can drop off the back of it.
Uh-huh.
What other...
Or plant ahead.
Or plants ahead. We have folks who can be on the sidelines casting spells.
Well, we should figure out. Are we together now, or
right?
Huh? Have we joined up the group again? Yeah. Okay, that's fine.
I don't know. Yeah.
I can ride shotgun and lob stuff.
Well,
I
shotgun.
feel like shotgun should have somebody with like magical spells should be in
is a
shotgun.
spellcaster.
Right?
Yeah, the driver should be super agile, or right?
Is it
Someone
is
who's
it a
good,
dex?
got good hand-eye coordination.
Is it a driving is mostly a what skill would you say is most important?
I would say driving with this, you describe to me how you want to apply your abilities to it, and that'll determine what it is. You can. There are all sorts of ways that you can try and drive. Certain things will have higher DCs than others. But if you have no dexterity, it doesn't mean you're incapable of driving. You just have to lean on other skill sets.
I think
Charisma will be a tough one.
I think
Yeah,
Lavna might want a lot of magic. I feel like Chitney, nothing. I feel like you're an older gentleman, and there's nothing safe for driving a vehicle.
Oh yeah, I mean just technical statistics. Like I'm the most lethal person behind the wheel.
Yes. Exactly.
Made for this.
I actually think Chetney probably would be really good at driving, honestly.
So Ashton and Chetney take the wheel, and Lavna
And you guys have to be the ones on the vehicles. Like, none of us can contribute.
No, because we all have to prove ourselves.
Well, we just have to prove ourselves with the one, right? So
Yeah, they
the
know
others
it's one
could
or two
be.
people. You don't always have to be everybody.
We can always put on costumes and things so they couldn't see us.
Well, we all said we wanted to join, but I guess we don't all have to join.
I think the whole point of this is that rules are very shaky in this particular sport.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if whoever's not driving or riding shotgun has to engage with someone from the Paragon's call out on the course.
Oh.
Would I know this? Would I have a sense of whether or not that is a faux pas of pulling, pulling outside people for your team?
No, it's not considered a faux pas as long as somebody who's representing is there. Like
as long
it's
as
pretty flexible.
Your car has to get there first.
And there've been instances where people have like started shit and agreed to meet on the run, and then they show up and their backseat person is like a renowned fucking like runner, and it's like it's
they paid to win.
Oh,
yeah, like it happens all the time.
That's cool.
In a couple hours?
I say, do you want to ride a shotgun in one of the vehicles? You seem like you're pretty powerful with spells.
I feel like you actually could be
spellcaster would be great.
Wanna do that?
One of
No.
the witches.
Images if you want.
I feel like witches on the back of both, probably.
As long as nothing bad happens, I'd hate to lose one of you because we crash.
I mean, there is a rifle back there in one of them.
I think because I think
Also,
he has
are
this
they,
little blind
do they
thing,
work for all
which I don't
statures?
really understand,
The
but
front seat?
if she can fly, then she can literally
Yeah,
just.
I mean, you can see that there are adjustments, both
Fire
belts
out.
and
Maybe I think you can
elements
carry-
of the seat that can elements of the seat that can be adjusted for different types.
Or smaller
Yeah.
folks.
That's true.
For smaller folks, if you want to tag along on Chetney's vehicle.
That's true.
That's not a bad idea.
You in Chetney's vehicle with one of you two riding shotgun. And then Ashton drives.
Could you be like a hood ornament? Or like just like in the front?
I
Just
mean,
like
technically, I've got a wheel, so I could be pushed along in front of the vehicle or dragged along behind on a chain.
So here's the thing: like the vehicle can fit up to 4 small folk. Having 4 people crammed in a space like that, it makes driving challenging and maneuverability very dangerous. You can do it.
Maybe 3
Yeah,
smalls.
the more we put on there, the worse we're gonna do.
And who
As
would
far
be
as
good
driving
for
But it's
like
doable.
a ground fuckery? That's another thing too. Is Fern just had a very
and I-
devilish smile.
I'm pretty good at fuckery in
Fuckery.
general.
Fuckery is
so-
Definitely, fuckery is your art form.
I also had an idea. Maybe if we check the course, I could find a good spot to wait and try to jump on one and take over.
Oh, you could jump on another vehicle.
That's pretty cool.
Because I'm only good at driving, really. Like, I can't really do anything if I'm the +1. I'm just this.
It's up close and personal
You'd
stuff.
be a good driver, though.
Jump
I
on
think.
is fucking awesome. I'm just gonna
That's
say.
a really good
I feel
idea.
like you would be a good driver, Orem.
Well, let's see if we can get us a 3rd vehicle.
Ashton, you've got to be on one. It's your
Yeah.
lifelong dream.
I'm well aware.
You'd also just look.
You look
Forgive me,
badass.
bad.
You're a driver.
Thank you.
That'd
I'm
look
very
pretty
excited by this.
amazing.
Yeah, but Ashton's good for like shooting a car, being a driving because he doesn't
I
have any
think-
range.
I think-
Well, it's not true. You vamped into
Maybe
fucking portals.
Chetney
and
is
stuff.
on the
My
wrong side.
range is what's the word I'm looking for?
Sabotaging and
Just depends on what
like
you put
looking
on
for
the
anyone
day
who might be
that-
trying to target.
It's
you guys are just
Who
looking up
wants to
at
drive?
one thing.
Raise a hand.
Yeah, I don't think so. It just yeah, them
Feels like-
look out like
No, I mean, who
I just
wants
noticed
to
that.
drive?
I say what we do is we have
Yeah,
the
like
2
that.
vehicles, Ashton, Chetney driving. Chetney and Ashton pick your seconds.
No.
Oh, yeah.
Alright. Do you two want to do the shotgunning?
I could do
these two?
fuckery. I could do.
You'll do fuckery with Ashton. You'll do fuckery with Chetney. You and I will wait out on the course, waiting to commandeer a third vehicle.
Okay.
Fern, you wanted to do backup on the course?
Yes, I can just, run around and just.
Can you be a flying
do what I do
animal of
best.
some sort?
No.
I can't. I don't know how to fly. Maybe one day.
I'm sure one day you'll be.
I think one day maybe. I'm gonna work real
You can
hard
figure
on
it out.
Yeah,
You can figure it out.
If Chetney's driving one, I could technically fit on that one as well.
Not counting like
Wouldn't have much weight.
Fern,
you
could
not counting,
blast vehicles from the side. You could throw a hole down on the ground. I mean, I've seen you do some nutty things.
Oh.
Are you saying this?
I forgot about
Just make a big old
that.
pothole.
Yeah.
That's
are you
what I'm talking
saying? Are you saying you want me on a vehicle, or you're saying on the
ground.
side of the road?
I think you're an ambush squad.
Yeah.
One woman
Yeah.
ambush squad.
I have some ideas.
We also have a bomb that we haven't used.
Which we can toss off the back of a moving
that'd be
wheel, or
pretty
we can
nice.
throw from the
place
ground.
it.
Yeah.
Dynamite.
Oh goodness, I
And
have such
dynamite
good
sticks.
ideas.
Dynamite. Oh my
And
God.
if something goes horribly wrong, we'll have you on the sideline to hopefully get there real fast to undo some damage if something bad happens.
Well, I could ride on Chetney's vehicle.
What do you feel like you could contribute on Chetney's vehicle?
I do have some spells that are of a range a little bit, but I could also heal y'all if you get in trouble. Is Chetney going to be driving the better vehicle, or is Ashton going to be driving the better vehicle?
Ash should be driving a better vehicle. It's your dream, right?
Yeah, I mean, it is. I've wanted this since I was young, but still, we've got to be. This is also about being practical and being smart. So. Danger zone. Danger zone.
Speak of my language.
As much as I want to drive, I also want to win.
We also don't have to win. We just have to survive.
We don't have to win. We have to. So that's actually really good.
I think we actually do have to
No, we
win.
actually do have to win. What we think is actually
I really want to win, though.
I like that idea, but
Yeah, no. I mean, surviving. Yeah, that's the hope. That's definitely second place.
These are your
Surviving
stomping grounds, though. You're familiar. I think you should be on the best vehicle.
Oh,
That's fair. I do technically have some idea of the track.
You do,
so-
and the track is generally divided or considered to be divided into three major stretches. There's the skids, which is where it starts at the bone tree, which is a massive 20-foot tall tree constructed from all manner of bleached bones from creatures that have been scavenged across the Hellcatch Valley. That kind of spiders out towards the top. A number of skulls and horned skulls kind of set around the middle of its trunk, looking outward.
Let me ask you this something. You can cast fly, but just on yourself?
Let me think about it.
While you're thinking about it, so it begins with the
Just such,
skids.
you could make
Is
the robot with the healing spells fly, yeah?
I can make anybody fly.
Then you can probably make the robot with the healing spells fly along with the rest of the crew, yeah?
Get shot down. F.C.G. would get shot down.
It's like a
It's too much for a target.
very open target.
Yeah.
But
Flying-
I could make anybody fly technically.
Flying automaton, that's definitely a target. I would take it down. That's just what I would do if I saw one. So that would be my first impulse.
And a lot of people look at him.
How high up can you go?
It's
As
just more
high
fall.
as they want, but it's a 60 feet movement. He can go pretty decently fast, but not as fast as probably one of these skirmishers.
Okay. I say that he goes above the whole course, fly in if anybody needs anything.
We can also do that during the match if we need it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Worst case scenario.
Well, I can tell it's all going to be.
Continue breaking it down.
Yeah.
So the first part is the skids, where it begins and goes through a large portion of the kind of urban environment of the city. A lot of tight road turnarounds, a lot of hairpin turns, a lot of.
And that's where most of the booby traps are.
That's where a lot of them are usually. There are a number that are placed towards the beginning. There are some that are placed towards the end because the book ends at the same location. The bone tree marks the beginning and the end of the actual race. Going through the skids, the main road eventually ends or emerges from the city and heads down into the ravine on a switchback course that goes down the cliffside into the ravine that surrounds the kind of platform-like mesa bit of rock that the city of Bassaris is built upon. Down into the ravine, it eventually goes into a cave network within the rock itself before emerging on the other side of this large mountain platform. And there it begins to switch back up the side. That's the ravine portion, kind of the middle section.
That would be a good place to jump on.
With more time, there are people that set traps or ambushes in there. With this sort of a circumstance, you're uncertain. But there are natural dangers occasionally that are found in that area. If there are flash floods, like if they ever do a run during one of the monsoons that blows through here, that place can flood and be a huge danger. There are all manner of indigenous creatures that live in the Hellcatch that sometimes call that area home. But when you find your way out of the ravine, what's called the climb, which is the switchback up the side, which is challenging because it's much easier to go up or downhill than uphill.
I can almost see it.
A lot of the race here tends to be vehicular combat as opposed to just racing.
You get knocked out if you're falling.
Correct, and everyone's moving at a slightly slower speed, and so it tends to offer a little more of a moment to focus on your opponents. Once the climb is finished, then it comes to the Carmine Curtain, which is the giant red walls that surround the city.
The Carmine
Curtain is the massive red wall that surrounds the inner portion of Bassaris and separates it from the outer skids. This brings you back into the skids and is the second kind of urban part of the race. More dangerous road turns, but it's a little more of a straightaway. But this is where a lot of the people gather. Which means there's also more spectacle and more danger set. Most folks like to set their bigger traps towards the end to try and even the score or to just make a spectacle of the finale. Sure. So that's what you have to look forward to.
How long of a race is it? Does it normally take?
The full race, we'll say if you were uninterrupted, will take about 15, 20 minutes.
Okay.
Maybe a little shorter if you're rocking it pretty well and the weather's good. It's a long trek. It goes down into a ravine, through the caverns, up the side, and back into the city.
Banana peels.
How fast do the
Oh yeah.
how fast do the vehicles go?
Yeah.
You don't know?
We don't know. Okay.
Okay.
Pretty fast.
When you pick up your vehicle, you'll find out.
Okay.
My proposal, if everybody doesn't mind, is Ashton and Imogen on the good vehicle, Chetney and Laudna on the loner, Orm and I wait in the skids area on a higher enough vantage point to ambush and acquire a third vehicle. F.C.G gets slapped with a fly spell beforehand, just in case.
It only lasts for 10 minutes, so it won't last the entire.
No. I'm not flying. Sorry. I'll be on one of the vehicles. I don't want to be in the air.
What?
Yeah, if you get shot down, they fall the
Yeah,
whole
I'm
way.
fine.
Everyone who ever
I
meets
want to be
F.C.G.
close to the people that I need to protect.
And also, anyone who sees you, meets you, is immediately taken aback. So we would be putting you in the air like a weather balloon.
That's true.
It's like a flying target.
Okay. And then I guess Fern is running support along the sidelines, and I suppose you can be an animal that's fast enough, maybe, to take on these skirmishers.
A rat.
I have some very, very naughty ideas already.
Oh dear Lord.
I think. Actually, let me see if I have something that could go faster. Question: As an animal, I can't cast my own spells, right? That's a total.
No.
That's right. Okay.
You can cast a spell and then go into animal form and maintain concentration on it, but you can't cast spells while in your beast form.
Does sound good.
Do y'all think that's the best place for an ambush as far as jumping onto a skirmisher in the skids, or would you?
guys should go to the cliff.
I feel like the
Or
ravine is
ravine,
probably
right?
right when it switches over to the ravine would be a good place to.
That's almost halfway through the race, though. You think you'll be able to hang on before then?
Oh, yeah.
It's not really I mean, it's the first thing out once you leave the skids. I mean, then you enter the ravine. There's a lot more after that.
That uphill climb is interesting too. If we could blast someone off the cliff.
I say we take the ravine.
Early in the ravine.
I'm just trying to figure out how to keep up with you guys.
Whatever looks doable is, I suppose, what we'll go check out we should head down to the track and check it out right now.
You could always be in animal form on one of the cars and then bamf out as you need to.
That's true.
That sounds dangerous.
Very true.
Just want to show you guys.
Once I bamf out once, I don't think I can go back into it.
Yeah, no. You'd have to bamf out and then create mayhem, and then you'd be probably where you are.
What if you were the closer? What if you were in the last stretch? You can it's a trap crazy, and you're there with your portable hole and all of your ideas.
You can do beast race twice.
You can use form twice to rest.
Oh, you can do it twice.
Twice. I did it already.
Oh, once today.
Because I was.
But it's per short rest, if I recall, right?
Oh,
we
could short
rest. Short rest to do it.
Oh.
So you can get a short rest in the interim, and you should be able to do it again.
It's an option. The ideas that I'm thinking in my head all are just me, but I can definitely.
That's all the ideas I've ever had.
So.
All right. Well,
we can
continue to chat.
Yeah, you can continue to chat.
Okay.
Yeah,
I like it.
We will say, as you talk and discuss and plot your day, eventually the sun gets lower and lower in the sky. You return to Imahara Joe's, and they're waiting for you. It's the second.
We requested red.
We did request
so...
They did not finish the red.
No, he said that we could paint it ourselves if we wanted to.
Yeah,
they were going to do
he
that.
doesn't do body.
We'll paint it with the blood of our enemies.
But we should put
These
the
are the
Bell's
statistics
logo
for
on.
both of them.
We should put Bell's House logo on one of them at least. The one that's not the loner.
Pass that to that side of the table.
One of them has slightly higher armor class than the other. The one that has the lower one.
Have a logo already?
That is the loner.
Okay.
AC 18.
What's the AC on that one?
17.
Okay.
Okay, loner.
So that's the
And
loner
they're
there.
not. Well, this one's only 60 feet speed.
Same.
Oh, okay.
It's 60 feet speed, but if you look, it can bonus action dash. So you can spend your action to dash and bonus action dash. So in one round you can do 180.
Oh, got it.
All right, let's here.
Someday.
Oh, I'm going to pass it to the
Okay, we really gotta fucking think about this shit.
All right.
So
Continue the plan.
those of you that are taking to the vehicle, you receive them. Imahara Joe shows you the process of how to get behind them, how to start the proverbial arcane engine behind it. In here, it kind of hums and growls. It's an automaton. Technically, it is a creature. Technically,
Are you saying these things are sentient?
no,
Not sentient.
but it is technically a creature. It can be targeted like a creature. Yeah.
Yes, I can find charisma. Would we get a charisma bump if we prestidigitate it red?
One way to find out.
Okay. It's like a Tesla. It's got cameras in it. You know.
Oh, God.
Good. It can see around it.
There you go.
I hear it.
You have your vehicles, and getting onto them and kind of feeling that kind of growl, that purr of it. It's frightening and at the same time oddly intoxicating. As you begin to kind of lean into the handle in the front, you feel it going to take off at a faster speed than you expect. And from the outside, you can see the arcane battery, the engine-like device beneath, kind of like flash and spark. Bits of energy just kind of arc across it like little spider threads of lightning. And it just picks up a bit and begins to just carve through the dust. Takes a second to kind of get your bearings, but you who are driving it, you have enough time to kind of get a little more affiliated with it and take it for a test run through some of the streets.
Ooh, nice.
However, dusk is rapidly approaching. And as you begin to feel the mounting tension, You also see people out in the roads along the path as you begin to approach the area of the Carmine Skids where the bone tree is supposed to be at your guidance and behest. People are gathering.
Oh boy.
Clusters of 3, 5, a dozen at certain corners and areas in the sides. People are putting up big wooden barriers on the edges to kind of connotate the edge of the roadway and to both give people a level of protection to stand behind as they watch the race scream on by. You can see there are also dividers that are large log barriers with all manner of spikes jutting out from it. Boundaries as well as possible engagements, should someone be so interested as to push it out into the middle of the roadway. You can see folks are mounting themselves up on top of buildings to get higher vantage points upon this race. While it's not the streets being entirely flooded with individuals, there's definitely a growing air of excitement and energy that you haven't yet felt since you've arrived in Bassaris. Though it's something that you are familiar with but haven't felt in quite some time. As you eventually round the corner, you can see there along the edge, kind of maybe a good 15, 20 or so feet from the outside wall of the Carmine Curtain, the towering deep crimson walls of the city. You can see twisting upward and kind of spreading out and clustered elements of antlers and what looks like clawed hands of larger beasts that are all held together with large wires that have been bound through and twisted through hundreds and hundreds of creature bones and skeletons to create this large standing tree of death that is a unique, terrifying landmark on the outside of the city. And there, a larger crowd is gathered. All manner of lanterns that dangle from the long-stretched cables and threads between the buildings, and large lamppost-like poles that hold on the top, glowing, kind of flickering baubles of energy or hanging oil lanterns. Here, you can see in the ground carved a little ravine, if you will, or a groove in the ground that marks the line where this begins. And there you can already see 4 other skirmishers that have gathered with a unique array of individuals who have come to embark in this. You see 2 of their drivers, their crawlers already side by side are in the process of screaming at each other and pointing. They're just like shouting angry curses at each other. One of them goes like, "Say that around, I'm gonna kill you tonight, you fucking fuck fork!"
Fuck fork.
Amazing.
That's a good one. That's a good one, and I love it.
As,
I have to remember that
as you're saying that, somebody in the crowd like next to you goes like, "Oh no, that's his name, a rad fuck fork. That's his name." You see one meaty-looking orc, like kind of a dark tan, kind of grayish skin tone, arms muscular and built. They have all manner of like bright orange paint that looks like it's been dragged across their shoulders and arms, almost like a war paint look. And they wear on their face a cracked human skull that's just a little bit too small. And it just kind of rests over the front of their features, their eyes poking through, and they're just like standing or sitting in the middle of the chassis of the crawler, kind of leaning up and looking over the rest of the crowd, chewing on what looks to be like the remnants of some gamey turkey leg almost, and just kind of like eating it through the skull mask. It's kind of smearing this grease across the front of its bleached white bone. And in the back seat, you can see this kind of tiny goblinoid figure that you see he has this kind of bulbous pumpkin of a nose in the front and a large underbite that kind of curls outward where these large pointy tusks kind of stick out the bottom. The long goblin ears kind of fan outward, and one of them you see ends prematurely where it looks like got clipped or cut off on his face as well. The same like orange spray kind of is pulled across the front of the face to kind of match the theme of his driver. And in the back you can see mounted, he's currently loading in with a large satchel that he's tying on the back, a built-in ballista to the back of this crawler. Already there, upon arrival, a unique spread of both onlookers and participants in this race.
Oh boy.
But as you gather your thoughts and prepare for the coming tension, we're gonna go ahead and call it there.
Are you kidding me?
Yes. So we have some time for you guys to think and plan and figure out what you want to do between sessions.
We're gonna go watch Days of Thunder is what we're gonna do.
I'm excited. I have ideas.
Next time we get to
Are you gonna make a little like Hot Wheels track?
Flat cars. Flat cars.
I got
60
plans.
seconds. All the things. We gotta wait. We gotta research. You guys.
Maybe we need to research and go into like a go-kart racing place.
Oh my god. Oh my god, we should all go go-kart racing together
just to like
game.
You know.
Just as
That'll solve
business expense. Go to Malibu Grand Prix.
Oh my god, that sounds
Is there one in town that actually does Mario Kart where they like you get actually can like
No, that's in
Driver-
Tokyo.
that's in Tokyo? I thought we had Mario Kart.
We're not that cool. There you go.
Go to Tokyo!
There we go. Business expense.
Oh my god. All right.
I cannot fucking wait.
I'm so excited.
Wednesday, what we
All right, we'll be
Look
back for the next session to pick up here at the start of the Death Wish run, as well as the numerous interesting mysteries that are still coming. And shortly after this race, the following day, it looks like we have a possible reunion with Mama Calloway. So,
Before the race?
no,
after.
the next day.
During.
Oh my god.
Mid-race, she's on this one. So yeah,
Good to see you.
super excited. Thank you all for coming along with us.
Thank you
We
for
love you very
showing
much.
us.
And is it Thursday yet?
No.
Well, as I thought it would end right before the race started. This is exactly the point I thought they'd end at. So I'm not sure. They may actually already have a logo, but we don't know it. See? Okay. Well, anyway, as before I finish this off, I'd just like to. I promised I should tell you about the properties of my homebrewed food, Vestige of Divergence. Excuse the name, it's kind of working, but Sleeves of the Miraculous Magician. And a pair of arm sleeves, like basically like thick long sleeves stuff, but they're not actually attached to the what's on the torso. Oh, the sleeves encircled with interwoven, interconnecting spell circles, like formula circles and stuff. And they would show, spin around, interconnected, and all lead to a unison point at the hand, which is the symbol of the god that made them, Coralon. At least keep in mind that some of these certain details aren't going to be open to if you want to use these alterations. So okay. Oh, and there is of course, as all vestiges are, they require attunement and can only be attuned to by a full caster, meaning either a wizard, sorcerer, druid, or cleric. That's all. Oh, also bard. And I went to first. I'll go things. Any of those 5 classes? Maybe warlock. I'm not sure yet. Okay. First properties in its dormant state. The first properties is that it gains a +1 bonus to both spell attack rolls and your spell DC. so it's harder to avoid and harder to resist. And as it enters its awakened exalted, and these this of course increases as it as it as the message evolves, whilst being a +2 in its awakened state and +3 in exalted state. Hey, and for the second property of it starts out what it starts out with in its dormant state is it's what it allows you to enter your own greater state for a period of time. I call it the enlightened state, in which you take what whenever you do like some form of attack roll for to deliver spell damage. You take whatever the minimum number is to roll naturally to receive a critical hit. And reduce it by the bonus you received. Received. Basically, like if like normally it'd be like on just get like on a on such a roll you get on a natural 20. Well, in a dormant state, you could roll you get a score critical on 19 or 20. On in its awakened state, you score critical on natural 18 through 20. Okay, and in exalted +3, it's a natural 17 through 20. So yeah, so that's that feature. No, its power increases. As a matter of fact, it increases You could say exponentially because not only does the amount allows you to increase your chance of critting, but also how long you can enter the state for increases too. For you can, it is also equal to what the bonus is in minutes, with endorment being able to be in the state for 1 minute, awakened in, you can be in the state for 2 minutes, and that's all this like the resets at dawn on next on day, okay, and you can enter it as a free action and exit it with no action required. The total amount of time is like the minutes. It's a for that. And you can enter it for 3 minutes during its exalted state. It also the state can also get a further buff, but that was part of what uh uh of that. But I'll talk about that later when I talk about exalt because that's his exalted special. When awakening, it besides the normal improvements to previous features, it gains a new feature where you could choose a spell. Well, the spell must be concentration. Must be a spell you already know. It's okay, and oh, oh, and it must also be of the schools of either or, or enchantment, conjuration, or illusion. And you may uh this spell it allows you to cast this once for free That spell once for free per long rest. And it cannot. The spell can also not be higher than of a higher level than equal to your proficiency, which it is always cast at. Like if you have like a proficiency bonus of 4, you cannot. It'll be cast at 4th level. When casted, you do use it does. You do still need to make concentration checks if you take damage, but it does not interfere with you casting other concentration spells. Uh, Separate concentration checks for each. Oh, it's a free action to activate this feature, but it does require its own somatic component, which I think you get to choose, but must include bringing the slaves together in some way so they're actually touching. Mm. And that is not included as part of any somatic components of the spell you cast, which you still have to perform after activating. Mm-hmm. And you can change swap out which spell is stored in the the sleeves whenever only when you level up. You carry on. And when you reach exalted, it this upgrades so that now you actually have 2 spells, one stored in each sleeve. Same rules apply to that, and all the same features go there. But though you cannot choose, the spells stored in one cannot be the same school as the other one. So if you have a conjuration here, the other one has to be either illusion or enchantment. Also, the semantic activation changes to you just form some form of touching with your hand what the sleeve to activate that sleeve stored spell. You still have to perform all the things required for the spell, of course. And it also has additional whole recharging. Uh, uh, Recharge basically like you could swap it out not just when you level up, but also during once per crescent moon. Like like the waxing, it can be once during a waxing moon for like the left hand, and once during a waning crescent for the right hand. And if you're wondering why I chose those particular things, is because well, right now it's for this was a vestige created by Corlon, whose symbol involves like 2 crescent moons and stuff. So, and lastly, when you reach Exalted, it gains its final benefit as well as the upgrades as previous lists. It also gains a new thing, which is an additional buff to your enlightened state. Which you can choose one of the following benefits and can swap which benefit is chosen at dawn. Basically, once you choose it, you're stuck with that feature for the rest of the day until your enlightened state recharges, in which case you can reset. One, magical resistance. You gain advantage on saving throws against spell effects. 2. Advantage again, resistance against non-magical damage not caused by a silver weapon. 3. And this is the one I originally was just going to have it just be the third one, but I realized there was some limits with since you're probably just a full caster. This may not always be applicable. You gain a feature of a full caster class that you have like one level in. Like you have to have some level in full caster to attune, and from that or maybe another full caster class you have, you can choose one class feature that is one level higher than your current level in the class. Actually, I'm not sure. The way I read it here, I'm not. It may not specify whether or not you actually have to have it. In which case, you gain the features of the first level. It probably have to make it so that you have to actually already have levels in the class, but it has to be from the level directly above the feature from the level directly above where your level in the class. And you cannot choose improvement to spell slots, improvement to ability score improvement, or feats as the option picked, which is why it's so limited. Because essentially, with like say a wizard, that's means only one every four levels you could actually gain something, a new something that's not spell slots or that. So, and keep in mind this will be an additional effect to be added onto the enlightened state. So the same amount of time uses is for that, and that is the sleeves of the enlightened magician. Sleeves of the magnificent magician. Reason why I picked sleeves is because magician sleeves. That's literally it. Well, hopefully you didn't get too bored, and perhaps you're even inspired by that video. That anyway, I thank you for joining me. This is Frina Rielmentra, half-elven YouTuber, and I wish thee good fortune in the quest of life.